Today on Screen It or Stream It, we're talking The Meg, which is rated PG-13 for action, peril, bloody images, and some language. So, what do we think about it?
It's okay.
Alright, so we've got submarines, we've got sharks, we've got Jason Statham, action, and the cutest kid I have seen in a horror-ish, thriller-ish movie in quite a long time.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Nah.
Nah?
Nah. The more I think about it, the more I dislike it.
Well, I mean, I agree there were problems. I felt like the characters, though developed, could have been much better so, and it would have been better served to spend that time instead of on the action and the fun, just working the characters. And not all of them, just, you know, 2 or 3 of them would have been great, but it is what it is.
It fell short on everything. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough comedy. It wasn't enough horror. It wasn't enough sci-fi. It just had a little bit of everything, and you didn't get anything out of that little bit of anything.
None of it was especially fun.
No.
Well, you expect from that genre the R rating with the buckets of blood, which there was a fair amount, but yeah, not enough for what you expect for that sort of thing.
Well, and it wasn't R-rated. It was PG-13.
Exactly.
But, I mean, you go to a horror movie, you get scared, you jump, that's the fun. You go to the sci-fi movie and we watch all the space and the weird tech and all that, and that's the fun. You know, you go to a comedy and it makes you laugh, and that's the fun. And it had a couple of funny moments, it had a couple of sci-fi moments, a couple of horror moments, but none of it was enough to be fun. And for this type of movie where it's a big giant shark eating things, it should be fun.
And oh my gosh, why was he always hungry? Anyway.
You'd expect more from Jason Statham. This wasn't Jason Statham-y. At the beginning of the movie, he starts off and he's an alcoholic, he's drunk. He's had kind of a bad run of things.
Sure.
And that never really plays out after that once the movie gets going. He jumps straight back into hero mode, and there's no...
well, it's Jason Statham.
There's no side effects. There's no effects from that, you know, oh, he's been a drunk for 5 years or whatever. Yeah, nothing. And one of my biggest problems with the movie is it felt very disjointed. It felt like 3 different movies stuck together. Mm-hmm. There was the first movie that was very similar to like The Abyss. It got the same like sci-fi feel, and we switched gears and we got Jaws in the middle, and we got the shark attack, and we're scared, and you got kind of that horror thing. And at the end, it went like full campy, you know, silly, and we kind of had Sharknado. But it just kind of meandered through all this, and it just I couldn't focus on anything. I didn't know what I was watching because it wanted to change. There was no character development, and don't even get me started on the tech and the science that is just horribly broken and not explained at all.
Which some things should have been broken that weren't, like bones when people get, you know, knocked off of ships by a breaking, falling crane and smack me. Yeah, they're fine. Walk it up. Well, swim it off, I guess.
Swim it.
Walk it off. And of course, the ever popular, we're all in the water again. Nuts.
To go to back what you were saying, there's 3 different distinct parts of the movie there, and each one of those on their own would have made a decent movie.
Yeah.
But the sum of the whole there is worse than each of those 3 parts.
Well, and granted, I am not a film scholar, but you know, I always hear people when they're talking about and they're reviewing movies, like, the first act was really good, and the second act. When I watch a movie, I never, like, I could probably go back and pick it out later, but when you're watching a movie, you never sit there and go, and there's the end of the first act. But you literally could in this movie. Like, there's the first act. They might as well had an intermission in between them.
It was pretty clean cut.
Especially since the stupid thing was how long? Like
almost 2 hours, right at 2 hours.
Yeah, and it didn't need to be.
Well, it took itself fairly seriously. Like you said, not the fun, and not the bloody, but...
Well, in fairness, I really did enjoy, and that's the only reason I rated it as high as I did, which wasn't that high, was I really enjoyed that first part. It was
submarines.
It was submarines, and we're rescuing, and we got the hero, and like that was cool. But again, now that I'm thinking back on it, even that was rushed. Like they ran through that to try to pack everything in
to get to the next thing. So
I'm a sucker for ensembles. I like Aliens, Predators, The Goonies. Anytime you have a group of people coming together to accomplish something, I'm in. I didn't dig this group.
But because there was no character development, and when you talk about those movies, the characters are identifiable, they're memorable, they're distinct and different, even though they do something together. Like, you know, I remember Trump doing the truffle shuffle, and you remember Data and his gadgets, and you know, they're all in mouth, and like they're all so different and unique, and they're quotable and memorable. And there's none of that, with the exception of the little girl.
Yeah, she was adorable.
She was just cute, but I mean,
There was one line I will remember from the heavyset guy, the wall. I won't mention here because it's a little spoilery, but I laughed at that. That's it.
The girl was 8 and she hears everything, so. So there's that one.
I'm not mad at it, didn't hate it. It just seemed very mediocre.
Well, if you don't want mediocre, what do you got for a streaming option?
All right, so I said I really like The Abyss in the first, so that's going to be my streaming option. I really like The Abyss. Does not give you the same feel that the Meg does, but it does for the first part. You get the sunken submarine, and we get the underwater rescues, and then something's attacking the people, and we don't know what's going on. But they tech the tech much better. They sci-fi much better. It's much more focused. So
and
that's my recommendation.
It's one of the few submarine movies I've seen where they go to crush depth and actually crush a sub. So it's got that going for it too.
Well, that and Down Periscope. But.
Oh, yeah. That was the one I was going to pick too. So you have outpicked me on that one. What do you got?
Okay, I'm going to go with Piranhas. It's filmed by Joe Dante. Think of it as Gremlins in water. Not multiplying and such.
Yeah. Don't think of After Midnight and all that.
Yeah. All right. You said that was 1970.
1978.
78. Oh, that's a good old one. It's all right. Y'all got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for watching Screen It or Stream It in a nutshell.
And remember, don't take your kids to the movies on Tuesday nights because that's when we go.